Missing my shows kind of sucks. But I keep stuff off the TV and off the internet onto this, so I can always, if I want, if it even recorded, refresh my memory pertaining to what's really going on. Remind myself of what's really going on. Since I'm not going near his TV or his computer. It's Tuesday nights. You're never using my computer again. And Wednesday morning, you can use my computer if you want. Oh, I'm sorry. Tuesday night was if you're not happy, just leave. I want you to leave. Go ahead, leave. And Wednesday morning was, Laura, I just want you to know I don't want you to leave. And the whole rest of her said. Then last night, you can use my computer if you want. Again, being so nice, but just wait until now that I've rejected his kindness, which included today that he would drive me on his lunch hour to the emergency. But now that I've rejected his kindness, now how soon before the fangs come out? That's typical abuser too. How dare you? I'm saying sorry. How dare you make me feel bad about myself when I'm a good person? Remember, he's miserable at work. So, to him, it's like, that's all that matters. Just like, when I couldn't believe how he behaved when I first got here. And in his eyes, it was justified because of my bad attitude and false assumptions. But in any case, he's the man and he's more dominant, and you can yell at me, but you don't get up in my fucking face and yell. If I told him not to do that, he never did it again. But in any case, when he told me that he wanted me out of here, wanted me gone, I was up here crying or whatever. I could hear him mumble. This was 5 months ago. I could hear him mumbling downstairs. I should just kill myself. Maybe I should get whatever, Joe. You make me feel that way. You crush my self-esteem into the dust. I'm not the one with the power over you. I'm not the one ending the friendship and throwing you out. This was 5 months ago. Then I was outside with Omar, and he passed by me and said, I don't want you to leave. So we made up. I went up to him because he made the first move by saying, I want you to leave, and hugged him, and because he had been saying, you need to say you're sorry, or that's it, it's over, our friendship is over, blah, blah, blah. This latest thing's completely different. 100% different, okay? I didn't bother him all day. I didn't ask him for anything. I was on the phone a total of 8 hours trying to get back what to me is a fortune, $700 with 2 different airlines. from the first one that I canceled from JetBlue, and they were supposed to give me my money back because I canceled it several hours after I made it. The law is 24 hours, and instead they put it into a credit, a travel fund. I don't want that. And it turned out they did that because the system fucked up, and I had added 41 cents that I left over from my flights before, 41 measly cents, when I'd had a credit in there before, and the system attributed that to it all coming from the travel fund. Which, of course, if I had known, I couldn't cancel it because I grabbed it, but I wasn't happy with the price, and I was still looking for other flights. And then I found another flight, and it turned out I had fucked up, which I would have never known. Had I not been trying to cancel it, I would have never known. It would have been too late to cancel it. Would have been too fucking late. Because I had 24 hours and Joe was on his computer. I would have been out a few hundred. Oh well. But that's not Joe's fault. But I should be able to say it to him. It's just like if someone's going through a hard time financially and they say to a friend, you know, I'm going through a hard time financially. That doesn't equate to let me borrow money. It's just, you're my friend and I'm sharing this with you. You know, it's along the same lines. I'm telling you the truth. And it's not your fault, but it's the truth. I would have been out a few $100s because I wasn't able to get on your computer. And that would have sucked. Okay? Had the neighbor been home, not been home, or I'm not know her enough to ask her if I could use her computer, then I would have been out that money. That's not me. And for Joe to say, well, I can't give you my computer in the daytime, I'll lose my, I'm not asking you to. My God, what is wrong with you? Seriously. That he said stuff to me Monday night and then tries to deny it Tuesday night. Gaslighting. I know what you said. I'm going to start recording you. That's what I said to him. I know what you said. Well, I didn't mean it that way. Yes, you did. Yes, you certainly did. You just didn't know the whole situation. So you're assuming because I don't want to hang out for hours at the emergency with your neighbor who I don't know that well, okay? Plus circumstances nowadays, as we know, you know, I don't want to be there making small talk with her for hours. I simply wanted her to drop me off. Never imagined that she'd insist on staying with me. Okay? But when I say she was supposed to take me at 10 in the morning and I decided not to go, and I'm thinking I can tell Joe that, and it's like, and then I also said she thinks she has somewhere to go. She thinks we can dictate how long an emergency. And essentially in his eyes, I'm putting her down. You need to start being more appreciative to people. You're a really ungrateful person. Extrapolating how he feels about me onto the situation with his neighbor and me, about which he knows nothing. He doesn't know I was crying my eyes out to her. He doesn't know that she now knows about my mother. He doesn't know that she actually can relate to something that he not only can't relate to in a million years, but just always lumps into the category of my drama. So, knowing nothing, but automatically assuming just because I'm ungrateful, because I don't want to, and then he's like, well, I didn't know that you didn't, it doesn't matter, you're still assuming that I'm an ungrateful bitch, assuming that I'm just being ungrateful towards your neighbor who's being so nice to offer to bring me the emergency. Meanwhile, I'm not talking to you, so you're assuming things that aren't even true. You know, I'm not telling you what's really going on, since I committed the crime of the century snapping at you, and now you're going on a rampage against me after midnight. And then since he, unfortunately, because she knocked on the back door, because I was on phone for hours and hours, and she tried to reach me on the front door to let me know she wanted to change the time from 9 to 10. But meanwhile, she also says that to me things like, well, I have an appointment, but I don't think it'll take more than this amount of time. You don't know how long it's going to take. It's an emergency. We can't predict how long it's going to take. And if you drop me off and then have to leave, and Joe couldn't pick me up till several hours later, what am I going to do for all those hours? But also, I couldn't find my health cards anyway. And it's not a true emergency. It was me just being casual. But of course, Joe had already told her that I had hurt my arm and was going to fly back. Okay, he felt the need to tell her that. And then when I'm not flying back, because my mother is on this thing where she's ordering a $1,600 home gym, and when I'm trying to tell her, Mom, why did you do that? You can't afford that, whatever. But of course it's too late. She's already done it behind my back. And of course she's calling me up, asking me how much is in her bank account, but she'd already ordered the thing, impulse buying. And if I tell her that she can't do that, this is ridiculous, she screams at me. I'm gonna, screaming. Okay, so I'm like, I'm not walking back into that. I'm not walking back into that in person, where I'm condemned for yelling at her when she's being completely irrational and there's no way to reason with her. She understood. She's like, yeah, I know. It's like talking to a brick wall. She's experienced it. Joe probably doesn't know that. I'm sure he doesn't, but now I do. Okay? You can't reason with them. It's like talking to a brick wall. She ordered a fucking total gym for $1,600. It's a monthly payment. Even if you can afford the monthly payment, where is it going to go? And what if you could get hurt using it? She should live in a big place. She doesn't even think about that. I want it, I'm having it, you can't stop me. I'm not walking back into that. So now I'd already spent hours trying to add Omar on to the flight that it turned out that I had added him on. Okay? That person, after I waited hours to get through, was supposed to ask me what my destination was, what my flight route was, or whatever, apparently to verify whatever. And it turned out I had the wrong flight route, which I didn't find out till several hours later, because this person added Omar on, and then I would have to call back to cancel the flight if I found out from the carrier that it was not, it couldn't fit. Because it used to be standard, but apparently airlines are giving you less and less room. Not JetBlue, you still have room. I usually take JetBlue. But JetBlue I had canceled because it was really expensive. I was going to go to the weekend before because my mom thought she was hurt and I had to take care of her. Okay? So I'm going through a fucking lot. Alright? But of course Joe has to pay the bills and that, or he needs to have his job, and that if he's stressed out about that supersedes everything, and that's fine. Okay? I don't expect him to me to burden him with my drama, but I do expect him to cut me some slack if I snap at him after a horrific day after midnight. But of course he's not going to cut me some slack, and he's going to rip into me, including about things which he knows nothing. All he hears is I'm canceling the flight and me complaining when someone's being so nice to me that she thinks falsely, in his eyes, I'm putting her down. It is stupid, though, to think you can decide how long it's going to be at an emergency. It could take several hours. You just never know how busy it's going to be. You can't assume anything. That's number one. But when you're going on a rampage against me because I had the nerve to snap at you when you're being so kind to offer me your computer after midnight when it's too late and you don't know that, okay? I'm not going to sit there and say, yeah, I also don't want to sit there with her for hours. You know, she wants to sit there with me. So because she's being so nice to drive me there, I'm not allowed to be uncomfortable in Joe's eyes. I'm just being an ungrateful bitch. She's essentially said to me without the bitch part. In fact, I said it, texted it to Selena. His exact words were, you know, Laura, you're really an ungrateful person. You need to start being more appreciative of people. You know, you expect too much from you. I've never in my life had someone want to sit, unless it's a family member and it's like an urgent emergency, This is a practical stranger wanting to sit there with you for hours when I said to her, you know, you can just drop me off. I really don't want you to stay there with me. It could wind up being hours. And then she's like, well, it can't be more than 3 hours. Oh my God, you don't know that. Number one, I don't want to sit with you in the emergency room and make small talk for even an hour. Okay? Especially not nowadays. We'll just leave it at that. But Joe thinks I'm such an ungrateful bitch. He always says, you're unappreciative or whatnot. He's going to extrapolate that and think that I'm behaving that way towards his precious neighbor. Again, assuming. Just like assuming I'm in here and I'm just all angry with him. No, you've broken my heart. I'm in here crying, Joe. You've broken my heart. You've inflicted pain upon me that you think you're a good person and you're not going to change and you don't care. And when you're in your rampage, I deserve it. I'm mean-spirited, so I deserve how you treat me. And then one night you're going to say, you're never using my computer again. And the next night, you can use my computer if you want. He's never been in an abusive relationship. He doesn't know that I know the signs backwards and forwards. Even the things that he says when I'm crying my eyes out that oh my God, is it reminiscent of my father? Crying my eyes out, I do clean the kitchen, Joe, I do, because I know that I do. It's not good enough. Okay? Exactly. He uses the same terminology that an abuser will use. And essentially, he justifies how he treats me because I deserve it. He essentially said that to me. And then gaslighting me and said that he didn't say to me what I know he said. And that's why I said, I'm going to start recording you. I know what you said. I know exactly what you said. When I'm trying to explain to you after midnight when I was ready to go to bed. But now you're on a rampage against me. And then you're on more of a rampage because I said I'm not going. And he's worried that I'm going to treat his neighbor like shit, who is the most kindest, compassionate person, unlike you, who I sat there and I was crying my eyes out to her. Not planned. Wasn't planning to cancel my flights. But I would have had to anyway. I ordered the wrong fucking flight. I wouldn't even have known. I wouldn't have known. It would have been my fault. I was out a few hundred. 300. A little less. Something like that. Doesn't matter. It would have been my fault if I ordered the wrong flight and then it's too late and I have no access to a computer and I can't cancel it and you have to do it within 24 hours and nowadays you have to wait. You call up, it'll be a 7-hour wait. That's what happened when I wanted to add Omar to the flight I didn't know was the wrong flight. That would have been on a Saturday night and Joe could take me on a Saturday night. It's 7 hours. Approximate wait time 7 hours. I said, fuck this shit, called back and pretended that I needed to make a reservation. I started screaming at the automated thing, and it turned out I didn't have to wait 7 hours, but they thought I fooled them into thinking I was going to have to make a reservation, which they want. But 7 hours to add Omar. I can't wait fucking 7 hours, especially they don't know when I ordered it if I don't cancel it within 24 hours. When I have to add Omar and I don't know if I can, don't know if it's full. Okay? I can't wait 7 fucking hours. But this is the kind of hell on earth I went through all day long, only to commit the crime of the century when he's offering me his computer after midnight to snap it. And then the next day when I'm completely avoiding him and completely ignoring him, okay? Staying out of his fucking way. I made sure that nothing was wrong in the kitchen. I scanned it. Came up here before I knew he was getting out of work. I scanned the kitchen. That was Tuesday. But I was down there, you know, watching his TV and whatnot and cooking in his kitchen. Okay? And I thought I was home free, that I'd done nothing wrong. I said it to myself, reminded me of how it was when I was a kid. Okay, Laura, you've done nothing wrong. There's nothing for him to be upset about. And after 10, it's, get down here right now and clean up that mess by the door. And then, of course, it's another rampage against me. So that was Tuesday. Yesterday was Wednesday. I didn't eat anything. I stayed up here all day long except to take Omar out or to quickly grab some water from the water bubbler, from the water thing that he gets. And I also grabbed some chicken for Omar because my toe was swollen and bruised, and I thought maybe it might have been broken. It's severely sprained that I wouldn't be able to walk on it. So I wasn't going to walk Omar, and didn't even know if I could get down the stairs. But I wasn't going to go down the basement stairs, and the back door wasn't open to get Omar food, so I grabbed him some chicken that I had fortunately cooked the day before. But remember, the rampage on Tuesday night was not in regards to anything I'd done Tuesday. It was apparently that he perceives the kitchen as being a mess, and that I never clean anything and I leave messes all the time, and I have no idea what he's talking about because I've been trying so hard, and I know I've been trying so hard, even consciously, like whatever, and then I get from him, it's not good enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not perfect enough. Going all the way back to when I was a kid with my father. Okay? Going all the way back. All the way back. Including, then you're kind to me and I'm supposed to just forget how you treated me and everything's okay. Okay? But let's see how soon, now that I'm not accepting his offers of kindness, that he turns on me again. Okay? Then I'm having the nerve when he's trying to be kind to me. Thing is, I knew that Donald loved me. Deep down I knew that. Okay? But I expect more from Joe. Just like I expected more from my father. You treated me the same. You're making me feel the same. You're destroying my self-esteem. You're having me a nervous wreck basket case, walking on eggshells, wondering if I've done something wrong that I don't know I did. Exactly the same. Exactly. And then saying things to me like I'm a good person. See, my father didn't think he was the most wonderful person. He's let me live there. He invited me in and saved me from going into a foster home, or worse, going to live with my cousin's pedophile father or whatever. I don't know. I suspect things about that, but I don't have any actual proof. Child molester father. No. Because there was no one. So then in my father's eyes, I took you in. You would have been in a foster home. I'm a good person, no matter how I treat you. And then when I begged Diane to tell him what he's doing to me, she turns around and he says, well, he says the same thing about you. What are you doing to him? But I'm a kid. Joe does the same fucking thing. If I'm not perfect and I'm not good enough, if he's mad at me, it's leave, threatening to throw me out, throwing me out. I want you out of here. That's what he did 5 days after I arrived. Because I assumed things that weren't true. And he was disgusted with me that I had assumed something that wasn't true. And he was enraged. And he wanted me fucking gone. But if you think you do nothing wrong, and that I'm overreacting, or what was the right? crying and they just negate your tears. And just, I forget, but you know what I mean? I may have written it to somewhere. It's the same damn thing. I also said, I do everything for you, you do nothing for me. When you're crying to your so-called friend, when he's saying, you don't clean, there's messes everywhere, I had to do this last day, and I even said to him, you leave messes, I can leave messes, I pay the mortgage, of course you can leave messes, and if you weren't so whatever, I could unintentionally do something wrong without it being the end of the fucking world. But if I'm crying and saying, I do clean, I've been trying so hard, I've been even cleaning up your messes, I've been doing whatever, and then it's not good enough. You're not good enough. You're not perfect enough. Then he wants to offer kindness to me and be kind. You're never using my computer again, and the next night, you can use my computer if you want. I want you out of here. I want you gone. Then the next morning, Laura, I really don't want you to leave. But that's not abuse, is it? Not in Joe's eyes. In Joe's eyes, he's a good person, and he knows he's a good person. And he says to me, I know I'm a good person, and I'm not going to change.